And then another man comes in. I haven't seen him before. I think he's the doctor. And they both look through this machine here and here.
What do you think they were doing?
I have an idea. They're taking a picture of my skin.
Can we talk this over? Yeah, it looks like you're gonna sing White Christmas. You opened my mind.
The Cases of Barney and Betty Hill, Travis Walton, and Whitley Strieber are perhaps the most famous alien abduction stories to be told in the past 75 years of ufology. They've led to books, movies, and in many cases, a lucrative business speaking on the UFO convention circuit. In a field dominated by non-human beings, abductees are tangible celebrities, the next best thing to meeting an actual alien. There's no denying that UFO abduction stories make for gripping drama, and the victims always seem genuine and sincere. They often pass lie detector tests, which at the very least means they believe they are telling the truth. But what is the truth? How did this all get started? When did it begin? The first signs of alien abduction appeared inside the pages of science fiction magazines in the 1940s. We already see the enlarged heads and oversized eyes, and a woman on a table being examined under a bright light. Then, in April of 1953, America saw its first living, breathing? Alien in the indie movie Invaders from Mars. While most of the film features slow-witted worker drones, we do meet their leader. He is green, as was the style at the time, and he has the bulb-shaped, oversized head that would soon be associated with aliens. Fast forward to September 1961. Betty and Barney Hill are returning home to New Hampshire from a trip to Canada. Late in the evening and halfway home, the Hills encounter a flying saucer blocking their way ahead. In short order, they are brought on board an alien craft, probed and prodded, before finally being released. Quite a story. But here's the thing. Most of the details of this abduction were remembered either during dreams or hypnosis, neither of which are reliable sources of factual information. And of suspicious coincidence, this episode of The Outer Limits ran on network television 2 weeks before Barney Hill first described, during hypnosis, what his alien abductors looked like. In the next decade, the Betty and Barney Hill story snowballed, culminating in a renowned made-for-TV movie called The UFO Incident. The movie ranked in the top 20 of the Nielsen ratings that week in October 1975. That means that tens of millions of people had now watched the first alien abduction passion play. 2 weeks after the UFO incident aired on NBC, Travis Walton made his infamous claim that he was abducted by aliens in an Arizona forest. Walton and the logging crew he was with claimed they encountered a flying saucer that knocked Travis to the ground with a bright beam of light. The crew panicked and fled, leaving Travis Walton alone with the UFO. And then no one saw Travis for 5 days, until he was found dazed and confused. Travis told a story of being brought aboard an alien craft by 3 beings who began examining him and generally terrifying him. Initially, the story told by Travis Walton and the logging crew was believed by many, but investigators soon discovered that the lie detector tests that were allegedly passed by the group were conducted by the National Enquirer tabloid, who also paid the crew $5,000 for their story. And yet, even with all the doubt cast, Travis released a book in 1978, which was then turned into an exaggerated but entertaining movie in 1993 called Fire in the Sky. To this day, Travis still attends UFO conventions where he is indeed a celebrity, and surely paid handsomely for his oft-told tale of alien abduction. It's now 1977, and the mothership of all UFO movies arrives in theaters. Next to Star Wars, it is the highest-grossing movie of 1977. And director Steven Spielberg did his research for Close Encounters. All the common tropes of UFOs and aliens make an appearance. They come at night, against your will. Vehicles shut off when a UFO approaches. They can communicate telepathically. They come in different species. A tall, thin humanoid. Smaller grays based on the prototypical alien. The size of a child with a large head and big almond eyes. And there's even an alien-human hybrid. While the mothership may be gone, what it left behind was nightmare fodder for millions of moviegoers who watched it. And for the next 2 decades, aliens and UFOs swept through the zeitgeist. In print, we reached peak abduction when science fiction author Whitley Strieber published his book Communion. It's difficult to overstate how big this book was at the time. In hardcover and paperback, the cover was everywhere. And soon it was at a theater near you when a movie version came out starring Christopher Walken as Strieber. It included a scene that forever linked the words alien and anal probe. What would Matt Stone and Trey Parker have done on South Park without the anal probe? For Whitley Strieber, his abduction was just what his career needed. He had been a struggling science fiction author, but after Communion, he wrote almost a dozen more books about aliens, both nonfiction and fiction, and, like Travis Walton, became popular as a paid speaker on the UFO convention circuit. Of course, the $64,000 question is, are people imagining these abductions, or could they really be happening? We'll explore that pivotal question in part 2 of Alien Abductions.